Escape into the unknown. Live vicariously through someone else's experience. Learn new things. Just a few of the benefits of reading. Hi there, welcome to another edition of Jamaica Magazine. It's Read Across Jamaica Day. We hope you took a few minutes today to do some reading of a favorite section of the newspaper, a book, in print or online, or even a pamphlet. If you didn't, it's not too late. After this show has ended, ditch the screen and do some reading. It will expand your knowledge and improve your vocabulary. I am Adrian Atkinson. Stay with us as we turn the pages.
It keeps our bodies working, our food nutritious, our living and working spaces clean, and our lives comfortable. Water, the most precious resource necessary for the sustenance of life on our planet. Don't waste it. Let's conserve on this critical commodity. In the house, invest in storage containers and buckets. Take quick showers instead of long baths, and invest in water-efficient shower heads, toilets, and faucets. You may also want to consider one-pot meals and cooking methods that don't require much water. You could also wash fruits and vegetables in a bowl and reuse the water on your plants or grass. When cleaning dishes, fill both sinks and use one for washing and the other for rinsing. The leftover water can be used to wash off the concrete or asphalt in your yard. If you must wash your car at home, aim for once a fortnight and use a bucket to do the washing instead of running the hose. Don't delay. Start your water conservation practices today.
Good day, I'm Lorraine Mendez and this is your JIS News for Tuesday, May 7. Government will be taking steps to mainstream crimes against farmers by amending the penalties attached to legislation such as the Praedial Larceny Prevention and Malicious Injuries to Property Acts. National Security Minister Dr. Horace Chang says he will be working with his agriculture counterpart to review these and other laws that impact farmers.
The consequences must bear relation to the severity of the crime, and stealing in the farmer's crop is like stealing in the bother's property, and it should be treated along those lines.
Dr. Chang made the commitment at the recent annual general meeting of the Coconut Industry Board. The National Security Minister also pledged to mobilize police resources to secure farmers' lives and property. In the meantime, Agriculture Minister Audley Shaw is again calling for stronger enforcement of the agricultural produce receipt book system. The system is used to combat Praedial larceny. It requires all registered farmers and vendors to issue a receipt that is identifiable by a unique number to anyone who purchases agricultural produce as proof of payment. Minister Shaw says there have been growing complaints from farmers who say the police have not been effective in stopping thieves.
The police must demand receipt. Anybody that is traveling with, whether it is yam, goat or coconut, the police must demand the receipt to demonstrate that you have legally acquired these things.
In other news, the Senate has passed amendments to the Protection of Plant Genetic Resources for Food and Agriculture Amendment Act. The amendments pave the way for the establishment of the Plant Genetic Resources Advisory Task Force. The task force will replace the Management Authority, which advised the government on plant genetic resources for food and agriculture. As she piloted the bill during Friday's sitting of the Senate, Leader of Government Business Kamina Johnson-Smith said no jobs would be lost. She also informed that the task force would serve a similar role of the authority, as it would advise the Agriculture Minister on policy and legal measures.
The bill before us therefore seeks to assure full integration into the ministry responsible for agriculture by repealing the provision in the Principal Act which provides for corporate status of the Management Authority, while ensuring that Jamaica continues to operate as required under the treaty.
The task force is empowered to conserve and sustain plant genetic resources, manage a plant resources fund, and maintain a register of plant genetic resources. Comfort levels at the island's only female correctional institution have been significantly elevated. That's thanks to the donation of 3 black water tanks and 8 heavy-duty fans by Guardian Life Limited. The items were handed over on Monday to the South Camp Road-based Fort Augusta Adult Correctional Center.
This gift is donated at a time when it is absolutely necessary. And this is something we are trying to ensure, that although people are incarcerated, we have this tremendous obligation and benefit to see to their comfort.
And finally, Jamaicans are being encouraged to see every child as their own and ensure that children are protected at all times. Chief Executive Officer of the Child Protection and Family Services Agency CPFSA, Rosalie Gage-Gray, made the call at the National Child Month church service on the weekend. She said the call aligned to the CPFSA's recently launched Every Child Deserves Protection campaign.
A child must be able to walk to church and get home safely. A child must be able to walk to school and get home safely. A child must be able to go out into the community to play and get home safely.
The church service is part of activities to celebrate Child Month in May under the theme Encourage, Enable, Include Me. Child Month activities continued today with Read Across Jamaica Day. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Lorraine Mendez. Thanks for watching.
Hey there. So, did you know that plastic bags were introduced to supermarkets in 1977? The production of plastic bags are toxic to the environment as the process involves the use of petroleum, natural gas, and other chemicals. 160,000 plastic bags are used globally every second, and 5 trillion are produced yearly. Side by side, they can encircle the world 7 times. Plastic degrades after 700 years and will only fully degrade in 1,000. This means that all the plastic that has ever been produced has not degraded. It remains toxic even after it breaks down. 13 million metric tons of plastic end up in the ocean every year, and at least 800 species worldwide are affected by marine debris, of which 80% is plastic and is mistaken for food by turtles, fish, and other marine life. Research has shown that fish caught for human consumption contain plastic nanoparticles. An average family will use 60 plastic bags on 4 visits to the supermarket, and only 1 to 3% are recycled worldwide. Play your part in advancing your welfare and that of the earth. Support the ban on plastic. Reduce, reuse, recycle, and get eco-friendly bags for you and your 1877.
Up next, the latest happenings out of the office of the Prime Minister.
Prime Minister declares state of emergency in Western Jamaica, signs $140 million agreement with the World Bank, and fed Special Olympians. You're watching Jamaica House Weekly. I'm Anthony Morgan. On April 30, Prime Minister Andrew Holness announced that states of public emergency had been declared in St. James, Hanover, and Westmoreland. He said it would be in effect for 2 weeks and it would not extend beyond 3 months. After that time, the House of Representatives will vote on whether to extend the states of emergency.
That the government will use all the tools available to protect the lives of citizens. And the tools that are available include states of public emergency and zones of special operations.
According to the security forces, since 2017, the 3 western parishes have seen sustained increases in murders and violent crimes. Since the start of 2019, 29 murders have been recorded in Westmoreland and 27 in St. James, while 18 persons have been murdered in Hanover. In Parliament Tuesday, the Prime Minister shared details of his March 22 meeting with United States President Donald Trump in Palm Beach, Florida. The Caribbean Leaders Summit was also attended by the heads of government of the Bahamas, the Dominican Republic, Haiti, and St. Lucia. Mr. Holness told Parliament that the summit explored ways to strengthen bilateral and regional relationships while addressing issues relevant to CARICOM member states. Among the concerns raised was the damaging effect that U.S. travel warnings and advisories had on tourism within the region. President Trump promised to look into the matter.
The president wanted to hear the leaders' perspectives on a range of issues, including the current economic outlook for each country in attendance and for the region generally. Areas in which the U.S. could offer greater support. The situation in Venezuela, the respective perspectives of the leaders who attended on Cuba.
Increased cooperation with the Overseas Private Investment Corporation, national security, protecting the maritime space, disaster management, and energy security were also discussed. Before that, the Prime Minister reached an agreement with the World Bank for a $140 million loan. The funds will be used to build the country's resilience against natural disaster risks, support human capital development, and strengthen the social safety net for the most vulnerable.
This initiative, in partnership with the World Bank and other development partners, is to try and develop the financial instruments that will protect us. And the protection really is to give us quick and easy access at rates that are affordable and conditions that are aligned with the disaster or unplanned for emergency.
By Friday, the lawns of Jamaica House came alive as the Prime Minister hosted a recognition reception for the island's Special Olympians. The awardees represented Jamaica at the 2019 Special Olympics World Summer Games in the United Arab Emirates between March 14 and 21. The team came home with Jamaica's largest medal haul of 14 gold, 10 silver, and 8 bronze.
I want to say how impressed I am. And more than that, how humbled I am to see your achievements, to see your confidence, to see the energy that you exude. But above all else, regardless of challenges, regardless of abilities or disabilities, you are not daunted. You continue to persevere.
Earlier in the week, Minister without portfolio in the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation, Praedial Charles Jr., launched the region's first GSM technology-enabled early warning system. The $34 million Rio Cobra early warning system in St. Catherine is expected to give timely, accurate measurements and warnings to safeguard life and property in the event of flooding.
This is exactly what Jamaica needs if we are going to advance the fight to build resilience in this country. Sustainable development is our goal, and that can only happen if we build our resilience against climate change. The upgraded Rio Cobra early warning system is a game changer. It is going to be the new standard for continued improvement on the way we respond, or the way we manage, and the way we best as possible preempt and predict natural disasters.
And as the state joined the rest of the world for Press Freedom Day Friday, Minister Charles Jr. lauded the Jamaican press for its accuracy and consistency in delivering information to the public. While acknowledging the importance government places on World Press Freedom Day, the minister called for more responsible use of social media. And that's it for Jamaica House Weekly. Be sure to join us next time for more news stories coming out of the Office of the Prime Minister.
I'm Janet Davids, teacher of grade 6 coordinator. Get them interested in the reading. Because you know, research has shown that over the years, as children get older, the interest and motivation in reading decreases. So as a grade 6 teacher, what I try to do is to encourage my students to read a wide variety of genres. Sometimes while I'm teaching, what I do is I bring in a little of what I've read in a book into my whole discussion, you know, like a teenager book. And then they will say, Miss, you know that? And I say, yes, because I read all types of books, and therefore you need to read all types of books. I think parents themselves must be readers. Parents must not allow the students to think that reading is a chore. You know, like sometimes when they're doing something bad and the parents say, go take up your book. No, it should be something fun. So they should find fun ways to read together with the children and read to them sometimes as well. And not just reading just one particular material, but a variety of materials so that they know that reading is not just a book. So those are some of the ways in which I try to pique their interest and get them interested in reading.
Mommy?
Yes, Zoe?
Can we read this book? It will only take 10 minutes.
Sure, sit down. Every spring, Madame Angel Wing arranges a...
Do you have 10 minutes? Read with your child today. Reading with your children for just 10 minutes each day helps develop their language and listening skills, stimulates their imagination, and expands their understanding of the world. So, start reading with your child today.
Next, we continue to endorse the importance of reading by highlighting the country's reigning best bookworms. See them now.
This year's 30th staging of the Jamaica Library Service's annual reading competition is one to remember. It's the year when the winners are handpicked by the Ministry of Education to become Jamaica's first set of student PEP ambassadors. Marsha Malcolm, Kadian Anderson, Eliaja Harris, Shakwana Ojidukan, and Daniel Lyle. These are the 5 reigning champions of the Jamaica Library Service Reading Competition.
The National Reading Competition is a reading program that the Jamaica Library Service has been doing for the past 30 years. We have this competition administered island-wide in all our libraries, and it is open to any member of the library from age 6 years and over.
And this was one of the main reasons why the ministry has chosen these champions to assist in sharing useful information about PEP in our schools. In fact, the minister was so pleased with the competition that he is now thinking of incorporating more book reviews in the school curriculum. But how will the ministry ensure that these students are equipped with the knowledge and information to be outstanding PEP ambassadors?
There will be a specific coaching training session that will be conducted with these students so they understand the nature of the questions, how they can guide other students, what other little activities they can do in terms of groups and so on. So they will support, and of course they will get feedback from students as well, and they will feed it back to their coach within Jamaica Library Service, and together we see how we can ensure that those areas or concerns that they raise are also addressed.
By now, you might be thinking about how you too can enter the competition. If so, go for it. Applications will open again pretty soon.
It's administered annually. It starts in March each year, and it runs for 6 months from March to August. So anyone can walk into our libraries island-wide. We have 117 libraries across the island.
And just before you enter, here's a quick tip from Daniel Lyle, who not only dominated the 6 to 8-year-old category, but also copped the highest award in the competition this year.
Well, one tip is that you have to do your best always, and your best is the best you can do.
So many wish they could visit our shores. We live where they vacation. Brand Jamaica beckons all from the four corners of the earth.
Well, as a Jamaican, I have great pride in selling it. Your pride that you sell Jamaica with is something that it rolls off. Jamaica has so much to offer, and every time I have the privilege of bringing an executive down to Jamaica, an executive from an airline or a tour operator or a travel agency, and you take them across the country, the pride that they said, wow, I can't imagine, especially when it's their first time. Wow, I love this.
Build it. Cherish it. Our wealth is Brand Jamaica.
Not very often we get a chance to meet junior broadcasters like yourself or a junior broadcaster like yourself. And so it gives me great pleasure and quite an honor to sit and talk with you today. So tell me a little bit about yourself.
My life in broadcasting actually started at Almonton Primary School, where the former principal, Mrs. Candalee Crooksmith, identified that I had a passion in speaking. And in speaking, I mean, I was very talkative in class, and she wanted me to learn how to use my voice in a positive way. So that's where I found the Kids Hub Media Network, a non-profit organization where we seek to give kids, tweens, and teens an opportunity to share their voice. And I became a part of that organization, and my life in broadcasting just took full speed there from there.
So when you were given that opportunity, how did that make you feel?
I felt amazing because now learning how to use my voice in a positive way, I am better able to interact with others. I have better communication skills, and I just find myself being a better individual.
Do you believe that you found your passion?
Yes, I have found one of my passions.
One of the passions.
Of journalism. Yes. But I just love being on camera and having a mic and letting my voice be heard. And what I love about journalism is that it helps you to be a current and well-rounded individual.
Your opportunity which you were given to be a part of the President Obama visit to Jamaica, what are some of the other issues that you're able to deal with as a junior broadcaster?
I'll mainly focus on the confidence that the young boys and girls may have in themselves. Bullying, we recently spoke about bullying in schools and how that affects others, and just how to be the best you in all that you can do.
And how are you able to strike a balance between, obviously you're doing well academically here at St. Hugh's and being a junior broadcaster, how are you able to strike the balance between both?
I'm doing my best at the time management because it's not an easy concept to grasp for me, but I am still trying. And it's just a blessing, I guess, when some people ask me how do I manage this and multi-talents, and I just organize myself well and try to cover a lot in the time I'm given.
And so you live in a single parent household, but aren't mothers amazing to provide the nurture and the care and the love and the kind of motivation? But there's something else. What is that other little thing that keeps you motivated outside of your mother's encouraging words?
I would have to say, I would have to give it all to God, that He keeps me going, because many times you're gonna feel demotivated and that you can't go on, but then you just remember where you're coming from and where you are now, and you actually feel proud of yourself, not overconfident, yes, but in that essence to say you are thankful and that you can't wait to see where you are to go in the future. So I would have to give it all to God.
What is the one lesson that you've learned having been a junior broadcaster? And and how has that one lesson, changed your life or impact your life in a particular way?
I have learned to accept failure, and it wasn't an easy process. Failure is not anything that anybody would be comfortable with, but it's something that goes hand in hand with success, and that's what I've learned over time being a junior broadcaster. It has just been helping me in my growth as a junior broadcaster, and just how to handle criticism, and to just, you don't take it negatively but turn it into a positive way in order to bloom you and to just allow you to become the individual that you should be.
What's the one message you would like young boys and young girls who are watching this program to walk away with?
To try. So that's what I would want them to walk away with. Never give up, on your dreams and always aspire to be the best you that you can be, and to just aspire to achieve greatness and always put God first.
And so I want to take this opportunity to say thank you so much. And it really was a pleasure talking with you and to you. And from one broadcaster to the next, I'd like to just encourage you to continue to do what you're doing with great passion. And if you want to become successful, more successful and great in the business, then that inner passion must always be like a candle burning, never out. The flame is constantly burning. That when you think about all the things that you want to accomplish, you feel so good inside, and you're filled with so much joy. When you have that kind of passion, there's longevity. So I wish you all the very best, and thank you so much for talking to us.
Develop a sense of purpose that says you're not here by accident. You are here for greatness. You are here with destiny in mind. You are supposed to do something great, and you are on that pathway. There are persons who are in the departure lounge of life, at the end of their life, and they look back and they have regret because they never took time to uncover and develop a sense of purpose. Why am I here? What am I supposed to do before I leave this 7 billion people planet called Earth? What am I supposed to accomplish? Having a sense of greatness that's in you. You're talented, you have gifts and abilities. Some of you are good with numbers, some of you are good with words, some of you are good with both, some of you are artistic, creative, some of you are sports oriented, and there are many things. And you take time to discover what are you passionate about. What can I just do naturally? I can jump out of my sleep and do it easily. Speaking now to your talents and abilities, your giftings. All of these come into your sense of purpose. The things that you are to do in life as you are to impact people. When you dream, when you close your eyes, what do you see yourself doing? And knowing that the sky is the limit. Second thing I want to say quickly is that you must learn to persevere. I heard Marquis speak about perseverance. Everybody say perseverance. Sometimes we don't achieve much because we give up too easily. You have to learn, if you want good, your nose have to. Yes, man, you have to get your feelings hurt and still go on. When I was doing my PhD, boy, a man tell me, man, people seem to like you. Wayne, why don't you just leave this program and go back to your country? You have a master's. The PhD is not for you. Why don't go and make money? And that was a racist comment because I was black. I was the only black person in the program. And he was saying things that hurt me, and I didn't want him to see me offended. I left his presence, went into my room, and I cried. But I decided to continue in my effort for excellence. Are you hearing me? And so perseverance means to continue a course of action in spite of difficulty, in spite of opposition. When they fight you down, when bad mind reach you, and they're fighting you down, and they say you're not the right gender, young ladies, and they say you don't deserve to be here, don't pay no attention, press on nonetheless. And it means you also have to have the right people around you. Be careful of the company you keep. As you go through life, you're going to make mistakes. As you go through life, you may fail at something. You want people around you who can encourage you to get up again.
The magazine closes for today, but please visit our social media pages. We are just a click away. You may also download our app to be notified of our latest stories and features. Don't forget to give us a like or leave a comment on our pages. Until next time, I'm Adrian Atkinson. Thanks for watching.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.